Welcome back to the Arn Show. As always, Paul Bromwell with all of you. So excited to be here on this Tuesday night in October. And as always, I'm joined by the Hall of Famer, the creator of the Spine Buster, the founder of the Four Horsemen. Come on, you can quote it with me at this point. He is the toughest man to ever step in the ring in my book, and he is my tag team partner. Ladies and gentlemen, Arn Anderson. Arn, how are you?
That was impressive. Who are you talking about now?
I'm talking about you, buddy.
Whoa.
How are you?
Whoa, very good. Thank you. Thanks for the kind words. Doing fine.
I'm excited to see you. I'm excited to see all of you. The chat is filling up. I see a super chat from Michael Jensen. Michael, we're going to get to your super chat. Can't thank you enough for that. But the phone lines are open. How's that for an old time phrase? But the chat line seriously is open for all of you. So start throwing your chats in, your super chats. We appreciate it. We're going to turn back the clock tonight to May 1996. And we're calling this one Turning Point. And you'll see what we mean as we get, especially towards the end of the episode. It's a big shift for WCW. We're going to talk about the build and the actual Slamboree event. All kinds of fun tonight. A surprise debut that changed wrestling. But Arn, I'm excited to see you. Lots going on here. It's getting cold now, finally. You see I broke out the Four Horsemen sweatshirt for this occasion. It's definitely getting chilly. But we have a lot of great fans with us. I'm going to start calling it Horseman Nation, Arn. What do you think? We have Horseman Nation with us here tonight.
Works for me.
You
Ask
like it?
How they feel about it.
Guys, do you like the tag Horseman Nation? Because that's all of you. We're sitting around the virtual living room of the Enforcer. But man, let's start off. Let's do what we always do. Let's make a couple of announcements before we get into the actual show itself. And Arn, I wanted to start off by talking about and saying congratulations. I think the Carolina Panthers found a running back and maybe an offense as you sit at 3-3, just beating the Dallas Cowboys.
You know what? Number 5.
Rico Dowdle
is a stud.
I knew you'd be excited.
Now, being a Monday morning quarterback, okay, and we always do this. Sometimes it makes sense too, sometimes it doesn't, but we signed our other tailback.
Chuba Hubbard. Yeah.
He is a talent as well. We just signed him to big money. If he's healthy, why wouldn't next week you put both those guys in the backfield at the same time?
Well, it's interesting you say that because just before we logged on, I hear that his name is being kicked around as a potential trade chip now because they have an ETN brother behind one of there's two running backs, ETNs, but Carolina has one, Jacksonville has the other. He's behind Dowdle and another rookie that they drafted last year that they are pleased with. So they're saying Hubbard could be a trade chip now for Carolina for a team that's, needy for a running back, whether it's the Chargers or another team like that. So I don't know, Arn.
Well, even if it's when he's fresh coming back, I mean, think about that for a minute. If they're both in the backfield, who are you going to hand it to? You don't know. But if he's the number 5 is the only one in the backfield this week, I think if I'm the defensive coordinator, I'm going to say, guys, just assume 5's getting it, and that's what we'll key. You got him and Chuba?
Yeah, explosive. Dowdle is explosive, over 200 yards back-to-back games.
Yeah, that's unheard of. And, brother, I watched it, and it's every play of it, and it was fun to watch.
I knew you had to be excited. I think for you got to feel like, hey, we might have a semblance of an offense out here. The quarterback's looking good. A year ago, we sat here and weren't too sure, but I think Bryce Young's starting to turn the corner, and I think you should see some good things.
It's almost going back to the Herschel Walker days, that dominant of a tailback. That's what I saw. I mean, he had to be averaging 7 yards a carry.
It was insane. He was shredding them like Swiss cheese.
Awesome.
So I wanted to kick off the show with that, get you excited. I know that would get you going, the blood flowing. I know you've been excited, and it's been hard to watch a lot of Carolina Panther football, but something to be excited about there. Let's talk a little wrestling, and let's talk about some appearances. We talked about this one just a few minutes ago for Brock, so I wanted to mention it because, again, it's in the Carolinas. It's locked and loaded. It's DCW, Dominant Championship Wrestling, Saturday, November 8th. Brock and CW, our friend, they're going to be there in tag action. So I want to make sure we make the folks out there aware of it. Support DCW. Check out their website, Dominant Championship Wrestling. If you can't read the fine print there, I know it's pretty small on the screen. But another independent promotion, Arn, and I know you love these types of promotions and these indie wrestling groups. And here they are providing a platform once again for Brock to do his thing.
All young guys need these type shows, and the Carolinas really support them. So everybody wins on deals like this.
Check out the website. There you can see it Saturday, November 8th. Doors open at 6, bell times at 7. And I think you're going to have a great time with the family, a lot of great stars. And so there you go there. Only other appearance we're going to talk about on this show before we move on is the big one after Thanksgiving, and that is WrestleCade. Arn and Brock will be there at the Benton Convention Center, Winston-Salem, North Carolina, along with so many others. Check out WrestleCade.com. They put together a fantastic package for fan experiences. They have wrestling there, wrestling events Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday as well. And then when they open up the hall for you just to have all those meet and greets with so many stars, and Arn and Brock, I know this has been a big show for you guys, Arn, for the last several years.
Just the opportunity to say thank you. And it's, you can't get everybody in 1 year. We've been at the last several years. So many people come from so far away. It's just great to see them when they come up and go, I was hoping you were going to be here. There wasn't some joke. No, Carolina fans are awesome. And Thanksgiving's a great time of year, and can't wait. Plus, you're going to be there, Paul.
I will be there. And I'll be walking around, and I'll be getting some pictures with people, and I'll be coming by and hugging you and Brock's neck, and I can't wait to see you guys there.
Ditto.
Yeah, it's going to be great. Hey, I wanted to mention, speaking of signings, I'm a loser. We already know that, but I really am a big loser because I forgot to bring my figure. It arrived from collectmajor.com. Your figure, Big Rubber Guy, arrived last week in the mail. For those of you that did the pre-order, Arn, your figure looks awesome. I have it downstairs with all my other wrestling collection. I have a feeling you're going to be signing a few of those bad boys.
Yeah, they sent me some too, thanks to Woo Woo and Company.
Mm-hmm.
Really good work.
Yep.
Really good work. Excellent crafting.
With the TV title, I mean, come on.
Yeah.
The red TV title's included. And but man, they got shipped out. Great communication. Website let you know when the pre-order was going to come out. They're out. I picked up you and your buddy Tully Blanchard as well, and really excited for those figures to arrive. But if you guys have those, it's a great opportunity to another item that you want to have Arn autograph. I told Arn, hey, this looks like another opportunity for fans to bring something to you to get signed, and I think it's awesome.
Yeah, buddy. Thank you for that.
Yeah. Hey, while we're promoting and shilling, and this is what we do. This is the Arn Show, and we're kind of going to roll with it as we want to, and make sure we still get all your questions. Is not how we do. Let's talk about the comic, because they're starting to really go like hotcakes. I think when I first put it on the site, Arn, like 70 or 80, we've sold over 30 some copies already. I've been really impressed with the movement of these hardcovers. But I wouldn't wait around and say, oh, maybe when there's 20 left or 10. Don't bet on that. We're starting to get into the holiday season, and I know a few people have already reached out to me, Arn, and said that's on my list for the holidays to make sure I grab a copy. I wouldn't wait around too much longer. If you're thinking about a hardcover, maybe for your brother, your, whoever the case may be, son, daughter, whatever the case may be, grab one of these. You get the picture with Arn signing it, as well as this cover here autographed. And when the hardcovers are gone, they are gone. And it's beautiful. I actually saw some feedback under the Instagram post on your social media, Arn. And one of the folks that bought it said it is well worth the money. And so really appreciate it. I believe it was Rob Hissam, and he's a big time supporter, usually always here on our shows. But I can't say enough about this fantastic. Really, not only is it your story, but this is a collectible with a hardcover.
Yep. And don't assume that people are going to wait till the last minute.
That's right. Yeah.
Get in while you can, guys.
And then I want to tell you, make sure you check out the shop. Arn, did you get the jacket that I just had sent to you?
I did, and very happy with it.
Yes. Nice new Columbia jacket added since the last time we recorded with the Horsemen logo, and I shipped it. The first person to get it was Arn Anderson, and not as heavy as the Horseman coat for colder weather, but just light enough. And I hope that you really enjoyed it, and it fits nice. And we're just trying to really provide as many options for you guys out there when it comes to the merch. So make sure you're always taking a look at that Four Horsemen shop for that awesome Horsemen and Arn Anderson merchandise. A lot of great selection out there. So there you go.
And the only place you can get that is on our website. It's not
That's right.
Available anywhere.
If it is, it's imitation crap. It's not the officially licensed.
Yes, that's
there you
correct.
go. That's correct. One more sports note, and then we're going to go to some super chat questions and then kick into the show. Arn, we got to talk college football. Georgia Bulldogs, they're going to be taking on Ole Miss this coming weekend. I mean, come on. They had a road win against a gritty Auburn team. That was a tough game. But Ole Miss is undefeated, and I think they're, number 5 in the AP poll in the country. So this is a big game here in Athens. You ready?
Huge. I got to tell you, I'll try to call it like it is. Georgia has got to start playing that opening drive a lot tougher, because whatever the terminology is, wait till the second half to get the ball, and they start out on defense, they get blown out every single week. I don't know anybody that hasn't drove the length of the field on them. They got to break that stigma.
It's fun to watch. College football has been something to watch around these parts. All I'm hearing about is the demise of Penn State, as you can imagine. You saw they fired their coach and lost.
Somebody will pick him up. I'm pretty sure. Don't you think?
We'll see. I don't know, man. He couldn't get it done every time they faced a top 25 team. His record was terrible. So we'll see how.
Sounds like you're glad he's gone.
Yeah, I'm not upset about it. I'll tell you that right now. And Allard hurt his ankle. He's done for the year. So it's just a mess. We'll see what happens.
Get hot.
Well, at least I have the Steelers, and they seem to be playing well right now. I'm not getting arrogant, cocky. I'm just happy we're winning some football games.
Well, so, Rodgers, proved that just a change of scenery sometimes is all you need.
Change of scenery, good attitude, not causing issue. I mean, everything seems to be going in the right way. But again, early in the season, I've seen this early success before. Give me some late season success. That's what I'm here for. Been around the block way too much. Let's jump into the super chat. We got Michael Jensen, $20. Arn, Michael Jensen.
Thank you, Michael. Thank you, Michael.
A great supporter of this show, and we appreciate it so much. Happy to make this one live. I just wanted to get good vibes and prayers out to Raven with his recent health update. For those that don't know, by the way, he has just let everyone know he has early onset Parkinson's disease. So very sorry to hear that. He's about to release a documentary. But does Arn have any memories of him from back in the day? Thanks for everything, as always, to both of you. Michael, you're a great guy. Arn, talk a little bit about Raven.
Well, he had that group of guys, the Flock. With Lodi and Sick Boy and Lanny. Can't remember how many guys were actually in that group, but it gave a lot of guys opportunities to reinvent themselves. And Raven was the guy that came across as, I don't know if it was brainwashing or whatever the deal was, but he had mind control over that.
He was the David Koresh of the group.
That's it. David Koresh, very good. And people would go along with whatever his wishes were, and that made for a dangerous crew.
Yeah, it was like, remember Jim Jones back in the late 70s?
Cult.
Yeah, cult guy. So, but yeah, so sad to hear about Parkinson's, huh? And You've heard about so many, Arn, like Raven and others, just as getting older and dealing with things like this.
Well, the guys from my era, there's, and younger now, apparently. Raven's got to be much younger than I am, but just like it's every week or every few days, you just look on social media and we've lost another one, or bad health, all kind of guys and girls in bad health from reciprocating from years ago, decades ago. It's just, I just hope it will be another reminder to wrestling fans just how dangerous our business is and how hard these guys and girls work to try to please them and the effects later on in life that they have. Now, granted, we have all chosen this path and it's our own fault that these things happen, but the danger is very, very real.
You put a lot of hard work, a lot of training in order to avoid, certain injury. But like you said, in this impact business, it's going to happen, unfortunately, most of the time, that where either a major injury happens or the repetition of bumps and things like that eventually catch up with you.
It's true. It's rough business.
Mm.
Dean Malenko is another friend of mine, very good friend of mine, that's battling Parkinson's as well. And I know through my contacts with him, who I do stay in touch with, it's you got to be brave to fight through it. He is, and I'm sure Raven will be. Wishing the best, prayers for him.
Well said. Now, as we transition to the next super chat, I don't know if you recall this, Arn. A couple weeks ago, we were all together. We had a gentleman, and I use that term loosely, named Yambag Jones. Yambag, at the end of the show, made a statement about us wearing white hats. Something about white hats. You said if you change your name, you need to change that name, Yambag Jones. Well, it looks like he has changed his name. I'm going to put it up on screen, and here we go. Arn Anderson is his name. Hey, Arn, I did my end of the deal. I changed my name for you. Now, where's that white hat, my friend?
I'll be back.
He's doing it. He's doing it, Yammer. Arn Anderson. Arn is a man of his word. As you can see live here on the show, anything can happen around the virtual living room. Arn has exited. Who knows? He may run into Smokey. This is incredible. Who knows where his white hat is? How far he's traveling for you, Arn Anderson. Here he comes, and he's white hat ready.
In the old days, I would have just said, you know what? I lied. But I'm a man of my word. There it is. White hat and good work. Look at that tailoring. Not too bad.
I'm going white hat too. The White Hat Mafia is in.
We're a man of our word.
I don't have a white horseman hat, but this is the closest thing I got. So we're going to white hat it tonight.
Okay.
Can't wait to see the clips on social of us in our little white hats. Are you happy, Anderson? Are you happy, Anderson? Oh my goodness. Hey, what do you think of his little profile picture? You recognize that picture, by the way? On the screen, see that little profile picture by his name, Arn Anderson? Do you notice that at all?
Where am I?
It's in the green writing on the screen. It shows his name and it says $4.99.
Oh,
and it
okay. That's my high school picture.
This guy thinks of it all, doesn't he? He even put that as his profile picture.
He's thorough.
He is, isn't he?
Yes, yeah.
He's real proud of himself. I bet he's giggling right now.
See, as sharp as you are, why would you resort to that terrible name?
Anderson. Oh man, he's a character. Love him. Known him for several years, and he's a good time.
Thanks for being part of the family, Budrow.
Yeah, good stuff as always. DNexus1 just showing us some support. $1.99. Thanks for the contribution, and so glad to have you here with us tonight. Man, what a time we're already having, and everyone's here. They're in the chat. We're gonna get started on everything, but from Daisy Mama to Darth Payne, He's excited. He's talking about Scott Hall. Was Scott Hall ever considered to be a Horseman? Did that conversation ever happen that you knew of?
No.
Nah. But we got Ryan Odell, big fan. CG's here. Just a lot. I can't read everybody named Scott George. As I said, Arn Anderson, Rob Hissom, and many others. If you want to get into it tonight, we may have to go super chat for this one because we got some material to cover as I started. So let's get into it. And we wrapped up Arn last month with the feeling that maybe WCW jumped the gun a little bit with the Giants title win. I think if you remember, we were talking a little bit about that. We agreed it might have been a better long-term to build him up after the NWO formed. And we were talking about imagine that massive giant versus and having that build versus NWO Hogan showdown down the line. But in April 1996, buddy, things are moving fast. And that's where we're going to pick it up from here tonight. So let's jump in. Hogan. I want to talk a little bit about Hogan because he wrestles his last match before disappearing for months. We also mentioned that the last time we were going through your career in April. And that match, as we said too, was against you and Kevin Sullivan, Shorty. And we wouldn't see him again, and we'll cover it here in a few months until Bash at the Beach. So he's gone. Giant defeats Ric Flair for the title, not on pay-per-view, but on a Nitro. And that's my first question for you, Arn, because this seems to be one of the major, or many, should I say, shifts of the Nitro era and really the Raw era back then, was these big title changes and things like that were now happening on weekly TV shows versus pay-per-view. Do you have an opinion on kind of that transition as, hey, we're doing world title shifts now on live TV, realizing ratings battle and things like that versus waiting for pay-per-views now?
I think we lost a lot of revenue. Matches that fans would have very happily, if you built them properly, would have paid to see. And when you start giving it away week to week, I mean, I'm sure the goal was just to take over the ratings, just blow the other guy out of the water, and I get that. It's part of the competition of what was going on. But God Almighty, you know, that platform of every 4 months, 3 or 4 months for a pay-per-view and build it for that entire time, wasn't broke. I don't believe I'd have tried to fix it.
Yeah, it's that one-upsmanship, and it's very different if you think about it too, because you lived through the Saturday night era, which was a studio show. Now you have Nitro with the big, massive crowds, and it seems like a completely different adjustment going from your old Saturday night setup, a studio show, to now live TV, Monday night, big arenas, anything can happen. It was a major shift for you guys as a company.
And you could have very easily set aside several matches that you weren't going to give away on Monday night and let the audience know you're not going to give it to them for free. You'll have to see this one 4 weeks from now, 6 weeks from now, 2 months from now. But that's where you'll see this match. And it's kind of a no-brainer. But again, this is Monday morning quarterbacking.
Yeah, it's and it's interesting too, because from a fan's perspective, you couldn't wait to turn into Monday Nitro because of that. You never knew what was going to happen. Feel.
Oh, they were the benefactors. The fans were the benefactors of this war that went on because they were getting everything under the sun from a writing perspective or a creative perspective. They were getting the best of everything. The fans were the winners for sure.
Yeah, and it all started, like Ryan said, it started with Lex Luger. From the first Nitro on, everything became surprise oriented, and you had that I can't wait to watch. Sometimes I feel like that's what maybe right now in current wrestling is missing a little bit, is you never know what's going to happen. Feel. I wish if that was kind of the case still now versus here's our lineup of matches posted on social media.
Takes the surprise out of it, doesn't it?
I would love to have something happen that made me say, I need to come back next Monday or Wednesday. I would just love to have that, be like, oh my God, it's just not there as much as it used to be.
I think a lot of people are with you.
Yeah, it's hilarious, by the way, in the chat. They got to get White Hat Club trending on social. Yeah, I got to throw this up. Sorry. Just the guys are having fun in the chat. You guys are the best, from Arn Anderson. Always appreciate the laughs. I'm buying one of those hats right dang now. So, Arn, you just sold hats by putting that on.
The old me would have said, I lied. Suck it. New me is a man of my word.
And is a salesman, apparently.
And well, hey,
What
is not to like? Look at the craftsmanship on that hat.
Now, those hats specifically, the white ones with the bigger logo, I think you have those with you at your shows. Those are I don't think we have those on those specific ones on the site. There's a version you can buy on the site, but not the one you're wearing.
Yep, that's true. And it's, we've actually got a couple of guys making hats for us.
Locally,
one guy that provides the hats that we have at the arena that are the popular brand that have like a leather thing on top.
Yeah, the leather badge. Yeah.
That's for
Miss Amy has.
Yes, that's for a company right up north of here in Concord.
Yep.
Should be easy to find for anybody that's looking for that style hat too. But I have some usually at all the live events.
Live events is where you got to come see us at WrestleCade. You can get one of those bad boys. Otherwise, they do. Yeah.
I'm gonna load up on several dozen so everybody that wants one can get one. No problem.
Thank you, D-Nexus, for another $4.99. Got to recognize our chats, super chats as we go. But yeah, so appreciate the love there. So that's really what's going on here. We're shifting really the entire WCW environment, the format, and have been, as you said, Ryan, since Luger, to this surprise and not sure what's going on. And we'll talk a little bit more about one of the biggest surprises of all time, if not the biggest, at the end of this show that occurred. Let's talk about the road to Slamboree, 1996. It's the fourth Slamboree that we're going to get to. And Hogan's gone, and Sting is now the guy that steps into that top spot. And he's going to challenge the Giant at Slamboree. Arn, was Sting just kind of like the easy lever at this point, do you think, here to be like, okay, Hogan's going to take a break. Giant needs a foe, a baby face. Sting's our guy.
Yeah. He was the star of WCW. He was the one that never left. He was the recognized top guy.
Dependable, right?
Dependable. You know what you got. At this point, he had really learned how to work and could talk, and that character was so over. It was a logical choice.
Talk to me a little bit about the absence of Hogan. I don't know what you can recall. Do you think, and this is just us talking hypothetically, if you backstage, you think about people that have to work creatively, and Hogan's got a clause here and he wants creative control there. But don't you think that maybe took a little bit of pressure off the folks creatively? Or do you think the thought was more, man, we miss our top draw right now? What side of the coin do you think that was like for backstage?
For me personally, I feel like, if you couldn't thrive and continue to build without Hulk, something was wrong. Because, it's not like he was new kid on the block. We had seen many Hulk Hogans. We had just never seen Hollywood Hogan. And him taking a little time off just gave the other baby faces, whether it be Sting or whoever, a chance to step up and say, okay, let's don't panic here. I got this thing.
Yeah, as you said, Mr. Dependable, and could always count on him. And while that's going on, you also have Sting, who's going through his own transition. He's got longer hair, dark tights, no more bleach blonde, flat top. Although I've watched this era Sting, I'm like, man, he didn't need a flat top. If he just dyed his hair that bleach blonde, he still would have looked kind of cool, Surfer Sting-ish. But such is how the character changed. What did you think about the evolution of Sting from the surfer flat top to this dark hair kind of brush back? It's still Sting with the paint. He's not anywhere near the Crow Sting yet. Do you like this as far as evolution? Was it the right move? Is it good for him to freshen up the character? I want to know more. What's your opinion of like talent as they try to reinvent themselves?
Well, I'm partial to the surfer Sting because there was nobody like that. And any tendency you had to go to a darker something was almost like whether it was true or not, you were saying, okay, that character's changing his costuming up. There must be a change in his opinion and his thought process, and him, the characters got to be coming. And that was never going to be the case. Was never a question that it was going to happen. It just, I mean, that's another one of those things that was a broke.
Right.
I mean, he looked great. He looked great when he was tanned and had on all those bright colors and the jacket and all that stuff. You know, if he was not wrestling and doing an interview, he had that like turquoise leather suit, pants. You know,
the bleach hair helped him pop too on screen.
He looked great. I was a big fan of that character.
You know who else it pops for? Modern days, Cody Rhodes, right? He decided to go to all bleach.
Absolutely.
And it has differentiated him as just not another run-of-the-mill guy.
Some guys can pull that off and some can't. That's two guys that could.
For sure. And it helps that they both had a nice full head of hair too.
Oh, you had to go there, did you?
Well, I'm speaking for myself. No shots at anybody else. I wouldn't know what that's like. That's why we were.
Now, see, you and I could be.
No, you got more hair than I do, buddy.
We could be sitting side by side, and everyone 100% will go, "Hey, who's the bald guy sitting with Paul?"
No way in heck. I am freshly shaved today for work. I feel like a baby's bottom right now.
You got a good head.
Oh, wow. Well, thank you. I'll take that compliment any day.
Hard boiled, but still a good head.
Egghead. Listen, we'll get you some glasses sent down to North Carolina. But thank you for the compliment. Let's talk a little bit more. And after this, before we get into the card of Slamboree, we'll come over and look and see if we have some super chats. Let's talk a little bit about the Sting Luger relationship, because during this period of time, Arn, it feels like they're always in this like period of gray. What do I mean by that? Luger, you know, the storyline here, he misses a flight, shows up late, Sting's frustrated, still makes the save in a match. It's like, is he going to turn on him? Won't he? They're a tag team now. It just feels like nobody's sure about their relationship. Are they broke up? Are they buddies? And it was a lot of this over these few months between these two before NWO would come in, and then they would, you know, kind of gel and be the force against them. But it was just really weird. Would you have eventually just turned Luger on Sting and run with it, or just keep this in this gray area thinking it was better for TV? Does that make a better TV dynamic? Keep us guessing the plot.
Well, I think then if you would have switched Luger heel on him now, you got to have different roles. Instead of having two strong baby faces, you got, well, you know, he did kind of shove it up Sting's ass, but I like Luger too. You know, it's not a good way to make them choose the audience.
Yeah.
For me.
We like to the storylines to be clean and clear, and when there's shades of gray, it's just confusing and doesn't make sense in the storytelling.
And if you're gonna hey, wait till I turn around and hit me in the back of the head, that's fine. I mean, I'm no choir boy here, but let there be a reason afterwards why you did it that makes sense, to your point.
I love it. Daniel Thompson said Luger was a good heel. I always prefer Luger heel.
Well, he just, you know, the guys are going to hate Luger because he looks so good.
Exactly.
Let's just face it, guys. We all hate him.
All of us are going to hate him.
For that reason alone, he just looked better than everybody else. I mean, that's that.
CG feeds into the point of what we said there, but hey, never knew from week to week when and if Luger would turn on Stinger. And Darren Staley's got my back. Luger was a born heel. And so, you know, all good comments there. We got another question before we jump into Slamboree. D-Nexus won another contribution. Thank you so much. Arn, did you ever get into any serious fights after an event was over, like at the hotels or anywhere people would show up late at night? So random question, nothing to do with the topic tonight. Just curious if someone tried to pick a fight with you after an event.
I'm absolutely certain there was multiple cases of somebody trying to prod and pick a fight with me. But as long as it was verbal, he wasn't sucking me in, because I knew that the very next day I'd be getting a lawsuit, number
Yeah.
one. Number two, there's some pretty tough guys out there.
Yeah.
Wouldn't look very good for the enforcer to get his ass kicked, which could have been a possibility. So normally I would just take it with a grain of salt. And by the time I looked around and found a bouncer or two, the guy had figured out that he wasn't going to get me to bite. And the answer is no. We did have a rot in the Dusty match, which we've discussed several times on this program. We had a bunch of probably 100 fans trying to kill us in the Omni when we broke Dusty's leg. So if that counts, that counts.
Two things. First of all, so glad you said that. Guess what they just uploaded to the WCW channel? Well, I won't make you guess because we'll be here all 1986 Jim Crockett Memorial Cup, 4 hours, is now on the WCW YouTube channel for all you Crockett lovers. Arn, you and Tully are on there, wrestling, and it was fun. I just skipped through to see some of the tag teams, and it's all the classics. But 86, I can't even remember watching that one. So Darren Staley, I know you're a fan of that era. As I skip through, who's the ring announcer for one of the matches? Bruce Pritchard is announcing. He's announcing Giant Baba and Tiger Mask, and they are wrestling. Man, I can't remember, but also Black Bart was wrestling, and you and Tully were there, and JJ was your 1986, guys. 4 hours. I've never seen it before. Jim Crockett Memorial Cup on the WCW YouTube channel. Go check it out. Love it. That was number one. Number two, to your point about not starting a fist fight with somebody, we're in different days today. First of all, you never know what somebody has on them. Number two, you never know who's MMA trained, amateur wrestling trained. I don't care how big a guy is nowadays. It's a totally different world. Even back in those days, why would you think at all about getting involved in anything like that? You were smart.
I wasn't. I never did consider it. It was never a situation where I went, okay, here, let me take my watch off. Let me take my glasses off. Never got to that.
Yeah.
There would be some verbal stuff in those days. We had our fans, and we also had fans that loved Ricky and Robert, loved Dusty, loved all the baby faces. Certainly wasn't going to get in a pissing match with those guys.
Makes total sense, buddy. Let's get into Slamboree 1996. The pay-per-view is in Baton Rouge at the Riverside Centroplex. Attendance just under 8,000. And Arn, this show had everything. Tag team is drawn by random lottery, otherwise known as the Lethal Lottery. There's chaos. There's great wrestling. There's total confusion. And I want to start with none other than the Road Warriors, because they end up here being with WCW for about 6 months. Arn, this is their last appearance for the next 5 years. They're done after this event. Any idea or remember anything about they're here for 6 months and now gone for about another 5 years after this? Do you remember this at all?
What were those dates? What was the
so
date?
This is May 96, meaning 6 months back, probably around December, the end of 95. They would have come in and they signed they said their contract was up. I guess they signed to a short-term 6-month deal, and then they're gone for about 5 years.
Ooh, wow.
And you know what? Let's think about this. Road Warriors are gone, but we know who's coming. The bad guy and the big guy, and a lot of other big contracts are going to start coming in the door. It could have purely just been a financial decision, honestly, at this point. Who knows?
Could have very well been. That would make the most sense.
Yeah. I don't think there's really any other reason. They were still effective in the ring, still a great tag team. They would go on and work well in WWE together, WWF at the time. So, there's that. Let's talk about the Lethal Lottery, because this is something I know you're not a massive fan of, this whole concept. They got Ric Flair teaming with Randy Savage to face you and Eddie Guerrero. I mean, that's pretty combustible, isn't it?
At that point in time, we hadn't established what a tremendous talent Eddie was either, right? He was like an unknown.
He was coming up, that people were starting to know that he was the real deal, but yeah,
Or-
not to the level that he would eventually get to in WWE. Yeah.
Because that would have been just, again, Monday morning quarterback. And that would have been a point that we could have really featured him in a lot more of the match and let that be the story of that match. Because Rick and I were still partners. We were still best friends and all that. I don't think the fans would have looked at Rick and I as probably going to go at it. You were going to have something involving Randy and Eddie, and maybe that would have been a perfect time to come out of it with a different ending to the story. Maybe Eddie was the one that shined.
And instead, it just ended up being more chaos and more storyline for Flair and Savage, because that's exactly, what happened. Things go sideways fast in the match. You DDT Eddie, Flair pins him, and then you and Flair absolutely destroy Savage. After the bell, Liz slaps him. You hit a DDT on the floor, which looks vicious on TV. If you guys haven't seen it, go back and watch it. How much trust and coordination goes into something like that? You just throw him under the arm and here we go. I mean, Savage is all Mr. Intensity. Taking a move like that, it's just, I guess we're just lucky he took it well and knew how to be a professional with it. But man, that was a serious move, brother.
Well, the guy giving it was a professional.
You got that right.
And that never wavered. You won't find anybody out there, I don't think. I may be shooting myself in the ass on this one, but you won't find anybody that I worked with during that era that I hurt due to recklessness. I don't know who it would be. I don't think it exists. And it was my job to make it look like a DDT, which it did, and make it vicious and make it safe. All those share equal value.
Not only did you make it safe, make it look vicious, you also made the promos sound vicious. So it was the whole deal. And that's what we can always say about you. And that's why you have fans that just love you and love your work. So that kind of happens. Everything goes all to hell in a handbasket. And I want to move on to the next round because it's Flair and Savage against Public Enemy, except Arn, that match never really happens because Savage music hits, no Savage. Flair walks out with Woman and Elizabeth, and Liz is literally throwing Savage's money into the crowd. Savage snaps, runs out, jumps Flair from behind. Security, along with guys like Bagwell, Guerrero, Riggs, they all have to hold him back. And then Public Enemy wins by forfeit, and the crowd is eating it up every second of it. And then here we go. WCW goes right back in with, Ric Flair versus Randy Savage. And it feels like every time, Arn, the company needed a main event story that worked, boom, they'd go back to Flair and Savage. What made them just such perfect opponents? They always delivered those two with the dynamic.
Quality of the match. I think if as a fan, when it came to, okay, now they're going to be no longer partners but fighting each other, you knew what your expectation was and you got it. I'm sure they tore the joint down.
Well, Flair's the ultimate antagonist, and Randy's the guy that's going to give it back viciously in a beating and mouthiness. I mean, it's just like two sticks of dynamite. Arn Anderson said Flair and Savage made everyone happy except for Vince. That's hilarious. We move on. That was good. Mongo challenges the Horsemen. Now, another big deal from this segment is from the show. And while that's all going on, we've got big storylines here. Steve Mongo McMichael, who we know has been doing commentary since Nitro's debut, he starts getting pulled into the action. Arn, be honest. Did you ever think the former Chicago Bear star with the ponytail and the big personality and the little puppy was actually going to get in the ring with you guys? Did you see it coming?
I never thought they would get there. I knew there was a plan to get there. I knew what his football history was, and that made him special. I mean, he was everybody's all-pro, right?
Oh, yeah.
For the Bears teams of undefeated seasons, and 85 was their year, I think. Correct?
That's correct.
He was
85
hot coming
Bears,
off
baby.
of that. That was a special team.
Mhm.
And anybody that can be a defensive lineman in the NFL is a tough son bitch, period. All of them.
Well, that tough son of a bitch is about to start wrestling, and he's getting in Flair's face. And Flair, being Flair, starts flirting with Mongo's wife, Deborah. And on this May 6th Nitro, Flair even sends her champagne, and she dumps it right out on the floor. And you could see where this is headed. I'm guessing you guys didn't have to twist Rick's arm too hard to get him to play that role, huh?
Oh, it's not a role. That's him.
That's him in real life, baby.
He is a Svengali to this day.
Oh man, well, he's got it rolling here. And then a little later, Mean Gene is in the aisle with Flair, you, woman, and Liz. What a foursome. Flair starts bragging that Savage has been arrested. And then he turns his attention to Mongo, even saying Deborah has a crush on him. Was there ever a moment backstage, Arn, where you wondered if Mongo might decide, hey, I'm just going to shoot on Flair for real after all this crap?
That Mongo was?
Yeah, that he was just like, hey, you know what, Rick, you're just going a little too far here. I'm gonna smack the shit out of you.
Never entered my mind because I saw how much she was enjoying it.
Yeah.
She loved being on TV. She loved being a character in the wrestling business. And why wouldn't you? She was put in the premier spot for a lady in the company. Being in an angle with Flair, right? It's a no-brainer.
Yeah, that's big. That's high profile, to your point. Well, Mongo walks out. Flair fires back that he's so tough. Why don't he go find a partner to face the Horsemen? Mongo says, okay. And he brings out the man, the former Pittsburgh Steeler and Carolina Panther, Kevin Green. At that point, he's with the Panthers, and Flair backpedals, I've been a retired player. And the stage is set for a wild tag team match at the next pay-per-view. And between Mongo and Green, which one of those two, Arn, I want you to be honest, which one of those two hit harder in the ring once the whole deal started?
Both.
Okay, equal.
There was a spot in the match for anybody that goes back and watches it where I cover Mongo with something. Kevin came in and just dived and just hit me with a flying forearm right in the ribs and knocked me off the cover. That was the lick of the match. But they were both, I mean, they had no formal training. They were in there fist fighting pretty much. You know, they had 1 or 2 days where we got to get in the ring with them prior to this. And
that's what I was going to ask. Did you spend any time with them in the ring?
2 days in Atlanta down at the whatever
at
it's
the power
called.
Plant. Yeah.
Power plant, yeah. But that's nothing. That doesn't do anything.
Nothing.
You know, I'm just trying to explain
good
to them
shit, as they say.
The accumulation of stuff that benefited us was just this. Over those 2 days, I wanted to get 2 things across. Don't hit me in the nuts. Don't knock out my teeth. And anything else is pretty much, do what you can do. But that's the 2 requests that I had.
That is very 2 good rules. No nut shots, and no, I don't want to have to do dental work when this is done.
Yeah, I don't want that. I really don't want my teeth.
Are those the standard rules across all wrestling still to this day at this point?
Nobody ever mouthed the words, I don't think. And if it would have been a trained wrestler, no matter who it was, I would have never said that too. But like I said, these guys had maybe 4 hours total experience, and they get revved up because they were both super athletes and super intense. Kevin Green was as intense as anybody. I don't know anybody was more intense than him. And Mongo was just a beast.
He was a beast. Kevin Green's a beast. It was fun. And, you know, even back then, I think about it, and the first thought that I have watching those guys with you guys was, oh, well, man, they were so green. Or, oh, it wasn't that. It's Mongo and Kevin Green. How cool is this, right? That's the entertainment part of it. And seeing 2 football players, well-known, established, wrestle with Arn Anderson and Ric Flair is just cool. It's cool to see. So I enjoyed it.
It's one you didn't think you'd ever see.
No, that's right.
And that's what made it the fear of the unknown.
A lot of folks in the chat just saying hard to believe that they're both no longer with us, Arn.
Yeah. Yeah, no joke.
It's just
Man, another bad disease that just destroys you.
Yep, no worries at all. And it's sad, but it's as you said earlier when you were talking about Raven, just so many guys that you think about in your career and where they are now, injuries, but deaths and things like that. It's hard. And it's hard as you go through life just to hear about these things, see these things. You don't want to see suffering. So it's definitely a shame. But man, what fun was it to watch him back in these days here and reminisce. And that's what I'm so thankful that we still get to share their stories.
Yeah, because you just never know.
Yeah, that's true. Let's talk a little bit about the lethal lottery, because I know how you feel about this. Tell us why you hated this whole concept, this random drawing, you and Flair on opposite teams. The Road Warriors were on opposite teams, just very random. And then they put them into a battle royal. And then the winner was supposed to go on and fight a championship match at the Bash. But I know you weren't a big fan of this concept.
Well, I'm a guy that thinks that wrestling, it should be an episodic TV show. It should go from week to week. There should be just a little bit of a hint of the story that you get, and you go off the air wanting more, not less. And it seems like to me, for that night, which is a pay-per-view event, there's no way to really tell a lot of stories within the confines of that television show. Who wants to see the Road Warriors fight?
Right.
Because I know they're not going to really bring it. And anybody else that, Rick, I don't think anybody believed Rick and I were going to cream each other. And nor should we have. It was like, what was more important? This relationship we had over years, or tonight? Who's going to outshine who? I don't think anybody have any issues telling you the finish to that they would prefer. Leave your relationship intact.
I'm with you. I agree completely. And we move on from there. It ends ultimately after the lethal lottery and the battle royal. The winner is DDP, and it wasn't without controversy, because at some point in the beginning of the match, he is eliminated and brought back in. The ref doesn't see it. And hey, we've all seen how this ends up translating on future Nitro. They end up saying, you were eliminated, and he loses his title shot at Great American Bash. They end up giving that away. I think it's Luger who ends up facing the Giant. So you do all this. You have this lethal lottery. You have this battle royal. You have DDP win. And then the whole ending doesn't matter because they toss it, and DDP doesn't get the title shot at Great American Bash. They end up giving it to Luger because of an issue with him already being thrown out, and they made it a Nitro storyline. How's that for booking?
I think that verifies what I said earlier. I think you go all the way around the circle, and when it's done, whose angle is better for it? Didn't do Paige any favors, I'm sure, right?
Yeah, no. So we had that, wraps that up with DDP, and then the last thing I want to touch on from this card is the Stinger versus the Giant, and it's the world title. Luger and Jimmy Hart handcuffed together. It's wild from the start, and the finish has Sting getting hit with Hart's megaphone. Another match ending here, Arn, with interference. Does it hurt the Giant at this point? Or, what are your thoughts on that?
Just go back to the beginning. It would have been nice if he was still on the build. The Giant.
Yeah, I'm with you. At this point, he needs to be on the build, especially we do know what's coming. And it just seems like a main event match with two headliners to get a buy rate at this point, when you look back on it from a storytelling perspective. Finally, this week, I want to get here. It's what we call Hey-Yo. That's terrible. Forgive me, but it's the arrival of Scott Hall. The moment that changed everything. It's May 27th, 1996. Arn, it's the first ever 2-hour Nitro. The Mauler is wrestling Steve Dahl, and out of nowhere through the crowd, Scott Hall walks in. You people know who I am, but you don't know why I'm here. Arn, when did you first hear that Scott Hall was coming in?
When he showed up.
Literally, that's when you heard. They kept a great secret.
You know what? They kept it solid. They kept it kayfabe. And it was a surprise and a shock for not only the fans, but the boys. Because there was no build up to it. Nobody tipped their hand. When he showed up, it was like, wait a minute, Jesus. Because in those days, you protected stuff, and that was your hook for the whole next show. You don't think I want to hear why I just saw what I did last week? Everybody should have been talking about that. The whole show should have been dedicated.
It was different, which made it great. No entrance, no fanfare, just walking straight through the people. I mean, how cool was it? Again, this is what helped make Nitro feel so different and so fresh and so good.
100%. Can't be said any better now.
What do you remember at all the mood backstage? And like you said, locker room didn't even know. I mean, like, timing's everything. And what a debut. Was there a buzz backstage though after that happened again? This happens hour one.
Oh yeah. You know, you had guys coming up that were friends of Scott's that you know, they had protected that big time. And it was like, it was just a great buzz because you knew now we had a foothold to things really turning around.
You had a rocket that you were all going to brace and hold on to that was going to be hot.
Strap yourself in, buddy. This just got real.
Bigger moment for wrestling history. Scott Hall showing up on Nitro or Austin 316 making the proclamation at King of the Ring.
That was a pretty stout moment, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
That was Austin's whole deal, I believe, wasn't it? Wasn't he
That's where it kicked off the whole program for him.
Everything that started war, big time war.
If you had to pick one, what's a bigger moment?
I think you got to go with Austin.
Okay.
I think
that's
so.
Hard. That's a hard one.
Well, I just looked at what I could see fan reaction wise, and they will tell you when something gets over.
And also, you can also look at it business wise, what it meant money and how Austin was able to take the industry on his back and probably you've heard Jim Ross say most financially successful individual wrestler for his time ever at that point through those
a lot of merch.
Yeah, my God. What a great show. This has been a lot of fun. I couldn't wait to talk about that moment. It's going to continue to get exciting as we ramp up into the birth of the NWO. Next month is June 96. That means Bash at the Beach is right around the corner, guys. And the next time we're together, though, is going to be the 28th. We're calling it the Ask Arn Almost Anything Spooktacular. Right here. That's right, because it's going on a few days before Halloween, Arn. We did the white hats. I don't know if we'll have any other gimmicks for you prior to Halloween, but we're going to have a good time. It's going to be Ask Arn.
This is going to be a one-off. Now you're getting greedy.
White hat bullshit, Yammer.
You're not dressing me up as Winnie the Pooh or any of that shit. We are back. We are back to ourselves next time you see us.
No pot of honey for this guy. You might
as well. 28th, we would go back at the normal.
Oh, it's so good. So good. We have a couple of super chats, 2 super chats I got to get in here before we go. Oh my God. Maybe we could, though, for the Spooktacular, have a little Smokey run in, say hi to him. I know some people are looking forward to seeing him. So there you go. Winnie the Pooh popped me. LOL, Darren Staley. Darren Staley has a super chat, and he has been riding high. I'm getting messages. You all have to do a show on the 86 Crockett Cup. Match by stupid match. The outcomes. Thank you. Love you guys. Just the memory of the cup enrages me, and I need to take my blood pressure medication. Darren Staley might be one of the most hardcore Crockett fans that we have. He loves the era, loved Jim Crockett Promotions. And as soon as I brought that show up, I was getting messages, and Darren is all about the 86 Crockett Cup.
I think that 85 to 89 are the golden years of the sport of wrestling. It was the premier time to have the best quality on two different channels, Crockett, WWF.
It was so good, man.
I will always be indebted, and I still think that the Crockett years, Jim Crockett Promotions, was as good as it gets.
It is as good as it's ever gotten. Honestly, if I really want to have a nice chill, watch some old school wrestling, I'm going right to the Crockett era.
It's a good choice. You can't go wrong.
It's so good. So good. All right. We have two more super chats. Instagram wrestling historian Flair and Anderson versus Savage and Guerrero was money. I mean, look at the four guys. Incredible workers. You can't beat it, Instagram wrestling historian. And then finally, from Arn Anderson himself, he's back with that beautiful high school picture. Proud member of the White Hat Club. How many we selling tonight? Man, I wish somebody said that on the Four Horsemen shop. The hats are already sold out. So I don't know if this is true. They're pulling my leg because we do have a couple of versions of hats on the site. If you guys have sold out the hats, I don't even know what I'll do. But that would be
look good. Our fans are grown ass men. We all wear hats at some point, right?
That's right. I would think so.
And it's quality work.
You know what would be cool? One of these shows, if just people all 30, we've got all these people watching right now. Just go, and while you're watching, go to the Four Horsemen shop, grab a piece of merch. Really celebrate Arn Anderson. Really tell him that you love him and believe in him, and get yourself something nice while you're at it, and share your support for the man, because he's here.
I've got on the t-shirt version of your sweatshirt, by the way.
Do you? Okay. This is a great crew neck sweatshirt. I love this one.
See there?
Yeah.
Good looking t-shirt.
Yeah, it's sharp.
And we appreciate your support, guys. Every one of you. Thank
you. We do. And guys, listen, 2 weeks, October 28th, Tuesday, 6 p.m. Eastern. Ask Arn almost anything. On behalf of the research guy, Andrew Hermes, our social media man, Marcus D'Angelo, and my God, what an independent wrestling career that man is having. Did you see he took on the Powers of Pain a couple weeks ago? Did I tell you that? Marcus was in the ring with a tag partner. I don't remember who, but wrestled against the Powers of Pain, Warlord and Barbarian.
Did he live through it?
He's still alive, still with us.
Then he's already won.
There, it's pretty cool. And on behalf of those guys, Paul Bromwell with you. You guys are the best. Thank you for all your support. Love seeing you here. He is the enforcer, AA Arn Anderson. And we'll see you in 2 weeks on Ask Arn Almost Anything right here on Arn.